So this is a fierce and tender touch and movement practice. So we know that touch is a key signal of compassion, not only for us but for all mammals. And this is why physical touch can be such a powerful gateway to self-compassion. So we're going to explore both aspects here, the tender and the fierce, and we'll begin with the tender. So inviting you first of all to sit down, find yourself a comfy posture. Close your eyes either fully or perhaps partially, and turning your attention inward. And seeing if you can sit in a manner which is kind of relaxed yet kind of balanced. So taking a few moments to really settle yourself into a posture that feels right for you. And this may be familiar territory, but let's begin by exploring some tender and soothing gestures. So perhaps beginning with just placing one hand over your heart and continuing with the eyes closed or gaze lowered, and really just sensing into the feel of this. The contact of your hand on your chest, feeling the warmth of that maybe, the gentle pressure. And as you do so, really inviting a sense of self-warmth. So there's kindness flowing through your hand and into your body. And you might experiment with bringing the other hand up to the chest also, so having two hands on your chest or over your heart, whatever feels right to you. Really dwelling with the physical sensations, but also really invoking the attitude of self-kindness as you do so. Kind of inclining towards yourself with an explicit tenderness. And then another gesture, maybe we could kind of take those hands up to the face and just sort of putting your hands on your cheeks, maybe along the jawline, kind of cradling your own face. You might imagine the way you would cradle the face of maybe a loved one, a small child, or somebody you're having really tender feelings towards, and cradling your own face in a similar manner. Just feeling that experience of these hands just gently kind of cupping the sides of your own face. Just breathing into this experience. Maybe noticing if any self-consciousness comes up. Maybe this seems a bit weird or a bit unusual, and just letting any discomfort just be there and settle. And coming back again to these sensations of just holding yourself in this way. And then maybe another one. Perhaps we could just gently stroke one upper arm with the opposite hand. Or perhaps even crossing your arms and giving yourself kind of gentle squeeze. Kind of a bit of a sort of a hug of self-kindness in a tender way. And perhaps even just rocking gently back and forth as you do this. It can be something really soothing about the rhythm of the body rocking back and forth or side to side. whatever feels right for you. And perhaps experimenting with whatever else feels to you an instinctive way of really embodying a sense of tender self-compassion in a physical way. Okay, so releasing these more tender gestures. And now we're going to experiment a little with embodying a sense of fierce self-compassion. So still while sitting, you might kind of try straightening your back a little, maybe rolling your shoulders back. So taking on a more upright stance. And maybe taking a few rather deeper breaths as we invoke this sense of kind of fierce self-compassion, feeling that strength or maybe a boldness to this. Invoking perhaps an attitude of being assertive, really leaning into your own strength. And then experimenting with some gestures. So perhaps let's begin with placing a fist over the heart rather than an open palm, a closed fist on your heart, feeling the strength of that. And you might like to place the other hand over that fist. And just breathing in a sense of strength. Not getting too caught up with the words. If fierce doesn't feel right for you, just maybe experimenting a little with what does feel right. What is it you're wanting to invoke and invite here? Feeling this fist over your heart and the support of the other hand cupped over the closed fist. And then another gesture might be to drop the hands down a little to your solar plexus, kind of below your rib cage, a few inches above your belly button. Just breathing in here, sometimes regarded as a sort of energy centre, the solar plexus, feeling the support of your own strong touch here, warm pressure of your own hand or hands. And you might like to have one hand on the solar plexus and the other on the heart. Just experimenting, exploring. How is it to really draw in a sense of your own fierce self-compassion as you explore these different gestures? And then another one might be just squeezing your own hands together. Maybe one hand kind of linked into the other. Or one hand holding the other firmly. Whatever for you really embodies this sense of your own kind of fierce self-compassion. And then releasing the hands being clasped together and placing your hands kind of on your waist, out to either side, so the elbows are pointing out to the side, sort of arms akimbo. This can be a real stance of kind of standing strong. You might like to actually stand up now. You can do this either sitting or maybe coming to your feet. I often think of this as, if I'm feeling a bit indignant, I'll put my hands on my hips and, gosh, really standing strong in this way. And then when you're ready, perhaps dropping the hands down for a moment and really sensing into this act of now standing. Having your feet hip width apart, or perhaps even slightly wider. And feeling a little bit of movement in the legs, so we're not standing stiff, but there's some energy here, maybe even bouncing a little. Feeling some movement in the hips, the knees, the ankles. A bit as though you're ready for action. Feeling your own strength of standing here strong. And then you might like to stretch out a hand in front of you. Your arm and your hand stretching out to the front as though saying kind of no or back off. A little bit like when we're wanting to, refute something or put a boundary or a barrier in place. We're feeling really free to speak up, to say no, or to make some sound. Sound can be a really supportive way of embodying our intentions and our felt sense. So this no, or just a heavy breathing out, kind of And seeing if your feet want to move, you might like to step forward into this movement. Stepping one leg forward, or maybe try the other one. One hand, both hands. So that might be a real way of that kind of protective aspect of fierce self-compassion. Really showing where your boundaries are and how you can say a firm no. Standing strong. And another way might be to kind of mark out your territory, as it were, drawing space around you. So with those arms and hands outstretched, perhaps just moving from side to side as though you're creating a space around you. Like, this is my space. You're not coming in here. I can protect myself by, having this space around me. Just moving in any way that feels right for you, and perhaps making any sounds that feel right. Perhaps breathing more deeply in and out as we do this. And then another gesture, you might like to make fists again, and raising those fists both up and then down as you say yes, kind of yes, I can do this, or yes, I can take care of myself in this way, or yay, yeah, I can feel my power, my strength. Letting this be a whole body movement if that feels right for you. Throughout the body, right from the head down to the feet, or vice versa, from feet up to head, really feeling this energy reverberating throughout the body as you really assert your own strength, standing strong. Or you might even want to encourage yourself with some message around, yes, I can do this. Or go me, yay. Whatever feels right to you, some way really embodying in a physical way, through gesture, through movement, through sound. And then continuing to explore for these last few moments in whatever way feels right to you, any way of embodying this sense of fierce self-compassion. And then when you're ready, no rush, and you can continue after the recording, but when you feel ready, bringing this practice to a close in whatever way feels right to you. Maybe rolling those shoulders, releasing, softening, maybe having a shake, shaking a leg, shaking your arms. And if you'd like to, you might like to return to sitting, reconnecting more explicitly with the breath once more, and coming to a close.